So I'm here with Alex Talarico. I'm glad you made it. This is a fun opportunity for me.
And for me.
Thanks, buddy. I want you to ask questions. I want to have an opportunity to film this with you so we can, I guess, both demonstrate what I think is a good opportunity to learn and how to go about it, and to show how academics and art are different.
Yeah.
And use what you do as you do it as demonstrations of your playing at this time. And I'd like to offer some thoughts, and it just might be helpful for you to improve.
Okay.
So I thought I would lay out a couple of ideas first. One of which is, I'll repeat what I said earlier when we were hanging out back.
Yeah.
Mistakes mean nothing. There's a funny, tense element that a lot of people have about mistakes. It's like they can't deal with making mistakes. The awful truth is we all make them, and usually it's music that instantly shows us our flaws and our incapabilities. If one is of a solid ability to accept this, the ability to accept this, they take that truth and get better from it. We use music to learn. Two, as I mentioned earlier, art and academics are different. So what we're going to do here today is simply try to use some ideas in music to help you to play better, because we can all play better through musical principles.
Exactly.
So to begin, I thought it would be a good idea to tune and use ear. So I tuned by the piano earlier. So here's my G harmonic, and why don't you tune your bass for camera? We're dead on. I wouldn't touch that at all. Well, let me make sure you agree. Hit your harmonic.
I sound just a little bit sharp.
Go ahead and tune. If you feel you are, go ahead and tune. I agree. That's even more in than what you had a second ago. So tune your bass now D to D. That's a very good ear. Now here's a suggestion. When you tune open string, the bass that responds harmonically, as soon as you hit an open string, the harmonic is invalidated. So try to use that. Now, you hear the waves, of course, and I think you know this, but we're demonstrating for camera.
Until they're dead on.
Until they're dead on. So now let both strings ring. There you go. And I'm glad we're filming this. Still out. Can you hear it? Are these old strings?
Yeah.
That might be it. So we'll accept that. But try it again. We'll give one or two chances just to... Yeah, that's flat. Can you hear the wave?
Yeah, now I can.
That's just about perfect. Now, good for the camera to see this, because you were entirely reliant on ear, not device. I like that. And you trying to tune it up is a beautiful demonstration of relying on your musical ability to hear if you're in tune or not. So finish tuning A, E, etc. And you. Now, are you tuning lower, or are you tuning like 7th fret, 5th fret, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just getting the top string.
Okay. I still hear a wave. Do you?
It may be the string, but I think you might be right.
Try that. It might be the strings, because they are old strings. So change when you get home, change strings. Try A. Beautiful. That sounds fine. No wave there. glad this is being filmed because this is what we have to do when we learn to use our ear. Try it again. I won't interrupt you now. Perfect. That sounds fine. So you're at a slight disadvantage by having older strings. So, you know, my strings in particular are a little fresher.
I know it always depends on how often you play, but how often would you change your strings?
I change them whenever I feel they went dead or started to die.
Okay.
I don't really have a schedule about it. I live in Florida, so I might change them much more frequently if I'm in a humid situation, or when I'm on the road, you know, hand grease, I'll probably change them once a week. Because once I start playing the low E string and I hear like, then I think it's time to start changing them. So why don't you show me a walking bass line for B-flat blues now, and that way that'll introduce me to you and a little bit in what you have in terms of musical or blues knowledge or what you can play. So here, I'll make a couple of comments that any suggestion I make is academically motivated. I'll give you a little insight. Now, I've always been of the mind that jazz is the best teacher there is. Why? Because in other styles we can learn lines and function in lines. Remember, we were playing some McLaughlin licks earlier with your dad tapping away here. Yeah. We can learn lines, but it's hard to play jazz if we don't know what the notes are. Mm-hmm. Jazz is a great teacher. It's a great teacher. Now, in this instance of playing jazz, you added notes. Okay. Jazz, as a matter of function, is a downbeat music. It really functions as a downbeat. And if you can picture a ride cymbal going down, 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 whenever they hit da 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 da, what they don't do is do da 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 da. The downbeat always rang, and the upbeat rang into the downbeat. So what actually bass players often do is add notes, sort of trying to get a swing. So they'll go, okay?
Instead, let the notes ring out more freely.
Precisely. And how you would do that is by pulling off with the left hand and playing long notes. Now this is academics. Okay, so I'm playing long notes. Okay?
Yeah.
And also, if I wanted to get that baung gaung effect, I would pull off with this hand, not with this hand. Or in the case of a lefty bass player, he would play long notes here. He would play, long notes here, quarter notes, and here pull off. So to demonstrate it, it would be like, that was an extra note, but I did. See how I'm adding the length of that note?
Yeah.
So I'm basically playing quarter notes, which I think all bass students should be doing. Because this is what creates the downbeat element, and the note instead of the... You know, so we don't want to do that type of thing in jazz, and we really would like to add notes. There's a legacy of the Jaco Pastorius approach, which is... And bass players are very commonly playing staccato short notes. You do a little bit, not that much, especially in this jazz thing. But I would go the other way. I would get long as you could. Let every note ring out. Try it again and play long notes, even to the point of not gaung, gaung. Just go bom, 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 bom. Why? Because this is not art. So try it.
Same 12 bar?
Yeah, try the same 12 bar. there's a thing we bass players do. We play, I believe, entirely too hard. There's a real rise in tendonitis amongst our instrument. There's a tendonitis issue. There's a what is that, carpal tunnel syndrome issue. In part, I almost felt like I could eradicate it entirely. And I'll start with you by saying, without changing your volume particularly, or maybe raise up just a little bit on your bass. Does it have a volume switch? Can you raise a smidgen?
Yeah.
Play the same thing again and play like about 30% lighter. Same intention, same feel, just 30% lighter, and see how you sound. Long notes. Don't forget to breathe, and I'm not kidding. Relax your shoulders. Okay, I'll tell you, and it's probably good that this was videoed, I think you sound like a different bass player in the 5 minutes that we've known each other. In this instance, because now you're not committed to being like, I've got to really make something happen. A lot of musicians are so committed to the art, they forget that they may have to learn first what notes to play.
Right.
And we all overplay. That's why, again, I say I really think that art and academics has to be separated as much as possible. I'm not sure why this concept doesn't get grasped in our educational world. You played, and any decent jazz drummer would, one, be comfortable with you. Two, your time is excellent. What's the third thing I'll comment about? I think your notes need improvement.
Okay.
Which sort of goes into the heart of the nature of my comments, usually of the past, that harmony is essential for us to have something to play to improve. So, can I put the stand here, or we have George on the mic here on the camera. You tell me where to position this, and you can move the camera. I don't mind. I want all of this to be in, the commentary, everything. Can you see this walking bass line?
Yeah.
Okay, now I want you to play this just a little slower. You're reading. That means you may or may not make a mistake. You might be a great reader. If you make a mistake, stop right there and go, or I'll stop you so you can correct the note, because this is not art. This is not a performance. It's an academic thing.
Right.
Here's one thing I want you to do first. Take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. Hold it. Now blow it out through your mouth. That little thing just takes the edge off of all of us. Now, read the bass line. You could do it a little slower and just play what's written. Great, the camera got that. This is a walking bass line that is perfectly constructed. It's perfectly written out. It's not great art. I mean, you notice when we talk, I rarely, or you rarely, or any of us all day long have said anything that we didn't know already. We use the same language. Walking bass lines are not owned. They're not stylistically of a certain bassist. Mm-hmm. So what the information provides is harmonic perfection. And you're such a good reader that I'm going to give you a homework that goes with this. And you have to do it, because if you don't, I'll come to your house, because I know where you live now. I mean, anybody could function with that. And to your credit as a bass player, you're playing your instrument for harmonic purpose first. Your hands are a little lighter. You're not going to hurt yourself in the future. I've never understood the overplaying of bass players. I think we all attribute that to passion. But passion is something that can be delicate too. And passion can be something that our amp can carry that weight while our hands don't have to be over assaulted. So this is a perfect walking bass line that possibly for the first time you might have played a bit of perfection here. But anybody that hears this bass line has heard it a million times before.
Yeah.
It's nothing I wrote. There's nothing original. It's in the lexicon of bass. It's in the language of jazz. To do it, you have to know the instrument and you have to know where to put your fingers. Hence the beauty of reading. I'm proud of you. Now you want a homework? Play the same bass line in E flat.
All 12 keys.
Yes, yes. Why? Because it's an exercise in harmony.
Helps you know your instrument better. Really does.
Helps you to learn your instrument better. I'm going to write out some of the chord changes, which you know already, but I'm just going to write out a B flat 7 chord changes, okay? And this little lesson, in the way that I will show you, can keep you busy for a while. It's not the end all, it's just a good lesson. So I'll show it to you. Here we are, I'm just about done. And I'll even call it Alex Blues. There you go, I named a song after you.
I'm flattered.
There you go. Remember, if you record it, I get half. Now, here's your blues changes. So for the visual, I'd like you to solo on these chord changes your style, your way. Don't be great, don't be bad, don't be perfect, don't be tense, don't be nothing. Play the chord changes and let me hear you solo. Ready?
Okay.
All right, now I'll tell you what, you're the soloist, so you count off a tempo that you want to solo at.
Okay. Right in here.
Sure, you're the soloist, you tell me.
Just a tinge faster. Yeah, this will work.
Okay, I'm going to play a lot more simple under you, but go ahead and play your solo. Count me off.
Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
Take another chorus. Okay, now I want to do another chorus. Before I get to the lesson that I'd like to show you, I want to do it again, a little slower for academic, not for art.
Okay.
And I want you to play your same solo, your ideas, and I want you to lighten your touch 30% and use that concept in your solo, okay? So that each note means something. Your way, your style, your vision. Ready?
Okay.
I'll count us off. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Now, here's where the teacher and me will kick in. I think your time is fine, but I feel that about most musicians anyways. I think most bass players have a decent sense of time. I think where, in your case, which I'm glad you're demonstrating this, is you're not representing the harmony. So I'll do a solo, and then you can play roots. Okay? That's simple, and that quiet, and I'll do a solo, and we'll compare my performance to yours, and you can tell me what you think, okay? Give us a tempo. I'll do it at any tempo that you wish, actually.
1,
Keep it simple.
2, 2, 3.
Okay. Now, what would you say is the difference between our solos?
Many years of.
Okay. Well,
no,
that's very funny, actually.
for
He got me. I didn't expect that. That many years. Is that something kind of alluding to my age here, Alex?
no.
Pops Berlin. What,
No,
what do you think about what it is I presented? What did your ear tell you sort of came up?
Well, you used a couple times. You would use like similar motifs, through different, through the different chords. So it made it feel like it was a statement as opposed to a bunch of random sentences, because everyone likes to compare, music to speaking, and it's actually a very good analogy. Bill Bruford, a good friend of yours, has said that many a times.
Right.
So to take a note, just any note, and to put them together and make a word, not that hard. You can do it with just spelling out a B flat 7 chord, but to take the different chord structures that you're given and to create an entirely, like, a phrase and a sentence out of it, and it sounds, good, and to make it speak, instead of sounding like just, this is what I played for the B flat 7 chord, this is what I played for the E flat 7 chord. This is what I played for the time I was given to solo.
Okay.
And it sounds, and from what I heard as I was playing and listening to you, you said a complete sentence.
I'll go with that and explain that, ironically, I made every chord individual. What I didn't do is I didn't play them individually like...
Yeah.
But that's not a bad academic way to go about it. So I've certainly not pioneered this thing. Mm-hmm. It certainly has existed. I'm the first, I would say, bass player some decades ago to invite bass players to learn chord tones. You know what chord tones are, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here are the B flat 7 blues.
Right.
Here is the B flat 7 blues. Here are the chord tones in each chord. Mm-hmm. Play them as, not as whole notes, but as pitches. And I'll play the chord under you. So play with these notes, and I'll play the chords under you. Okay. Not in time, but almost a... And then, yeah. Go ahead, read the chords. Perfect. Go out of time. Look at your music or look at your bass, one or the other. Let's fix that mistake. Is that a bad thing or a weird thing you made a mistake?
No.
No, good man. Okay, F7. Read your changes so you know what to play. Okay, that is, I'm going to guess, one of the first regarding of each chord for its own harmonic purpose. Mm-hmm. A chord is like a word. We are not close to being right. We're right or we're wrong in music. There is no approximation. Is an error. Because I didn't mean to play that. Mm-hmm. In art, maybe it's... And you end up with Varese, who I know you know.
Yes.
So, in the artistic, separate from the academic, you played a perfect academic interpretation of this. Now, when I did my solo, I did the same thing. I just used more phrasing. So, with that in mind, try a solo, and we're going to go out of time. one reason why I don't like metronomes in academics is that the priority is the click, not your chance to think about the music. The music is always second to a metronome.
Yeah.
And since I feel all bass players have a good time anyway, if they learn about the content and how to demystify their instrument, you have a good chance here to now play this stuff and play it almost. Okay, the next chord, Z flat 7. Okay. And try to do your way, your style. Let me replace style with your interpretation of these chords using B flat, D, F, A flat, etc., etc.
Right.
You can ascend or descend because you're not confined to the octave. So try a chord tone solo. And if you hit a note that isn't a chord tone, I'll say, notice that. Because it's academics. You want to know when you're not representing a bit of harmony. All language teachers do this. They just say a word. No, that's not the word in the French language. It's this word. Yeah. Let's apply the same thing to music. Okay. I'll play the chords and play a solo. You can go out of time. It is not a bing, ba-bing, 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 ba-bing. Yeah. All right? I'll follow you. So read your chords. Now I notice you're sort of off in the ether a little bit, and I would like you either to regard your instrument or regard your music or both. Don't be an artist. Be correct. There's a difference. Yeah. All right. Anytime you're ready, start. Beautiful. Think about it. Right on. This is your first day of perfect bass playing. Okay, let's start from the B flat. This one here. Right. Go. Utterly and absolutely brilliant. That's exactly what I would encourage you to do. Not be an artist. How can one be artistic in something that they're just starting to figure out? Yeah. But this is, if you compare this bass solo with one 10 minutes earlier, your artistic expressive one, they're not even in the same ballpark. Yeah. And the reason is because you're giving yourself time. You're allowing yourself time to think about what to do. When we're done filming, I have some ideas. It's not necessary for the film, but I have some other ideas for you personally, because you're really helping out these guys, because you're supposed to bump and supposed to not sure, and you're supposed to,
hit snags.
You're supposed to. Learning how to play better and better is filled with snags. It is inclusive. It is mandatory. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a lot. Take this stuff, practice at 12 keys.
Absolutely.
And
chord tones.
Chord tones and different songs, walking bass lines that resolve. Last thought, everything resolves in music. Resolution. 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 You see?
Yeah.
So bass lines resolve. Bravo. See, you're good. This is you're a natural for this stuff. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you very much.
All right.